Now come to the Acting Shadow Leader, Jessica Vaughan.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker, and thanks to the Leader of the House for the forthcoming business. And I was going to say, Mr Speaker, but you beat me to it, that eagle-eyed fans of business questions will, I'm sure, notice that I'm not the honourable member for Bristol West, the Shadow Leader of the House, who, like so many up and down the country, is suffering from COVID. So can I wish her and others a very speedy recovery. On Tuesday, Mr Speaker, it marked 5 years since the Westminster terror attack, when we remembered those who tragically lost their lives, including PC Keith Palmer. We are forever indebted to him and to his family for their sacrifice, and today I'd also like to take the opportunity to thank all those who are continuing to keep us safe. Mr Speaker, today marks 1 month since Russia's illegal invasion of Ukraine. More and more war crimes being committed each day. The Labour Party stands with our allies, including NATO and our other partners. We stand in complete solidarity with the Ukrainian people. However, this devastating situation is also having implications for our own security situation. Yesterday, in the spring statement, there was no mention of stopping cuts to our armed forces. Other European governments have already acted to reboot their plan to review defence spending, but the Chancellor has not announced any halt to army cuts. There was no review of defence spending, no reform of military procurement, and no change to the real cut in day-to-day MOD spending. This means less money for forces recruitment, training pay and families. So, can we have a statement from the Defence Secretary on how he plans to keep Britain safe if these cuts go ahead? Mr Speaker, the Chancellor has been responsible for 15 tax rises in the last 2 years, and even though he proclaims that he believes in low tax, the OBR has confirmed that he's only reversed around a sixth of the tax rises he's announced since he took the job. The national insurance threshold rise is nothing more than a cynical attempt to distract from the fact that for every £6 this Chancellor takes away from people, he's given them back just one. So can we have a statement from the Chancellor on when it became government policy to turn Britain into a country of high tax and low growth? Mr Speaker, families are facing the biggest fall in living standards since record began in the 1950s. The majority of households will see, on average, a £1,300 increase in year-on-year bills by October. 6.5 million households across the country will be facing fuel poverty next week. Our proposal for a one-off windfall tax on oil and gas producers would cut household energy bills by £600, helping those who need it most. And as a member for a Welsh constituency, I'm proud the Welsh Labour Government has again put in a more generous package of support for those who need it. So why isn't this government doing the same? Can the Leader of the House explain why this government is happy to raise taxes on hard-working people but won't do the same for oil and gas companies? Finally, Mr Speaker, yesterday the Prime Minister said he was taking legal action against P&O Ferries, but his officials are now saying he overstepped the mark. So can the Leader of the House explain if the Business Secretary has issued proceedings against P&O, and if not, can he tell us why it is in a week on from these shameful sackings the government's done absolutely nothing to help these British workers? In fact, this government have consistently voted to continue to allow bullying tactics from a few bad employers, and on Monday the benches opposite will whip to abstain on our motion to outlaw fire and rehire. So can we have a statement on why this government have let British businesses be undercut and let British workers down for the last decade?
Leader.